Welcome to Panels and Borders. I'm Dominic, and this is another episode of Road to Dune. So, some rumors have come out about the upcoming Dune film that will be here this year, 2020. It's now 2020, the year of Dune, and it's come from, but it comes from not the usual source that I usually report on, which is news sites. This actually comes from Midnight's Edge, a video they did a few days ago about the upcoming Dune film by Denis Villeneuve. So in their video, it's probably about 11 minutes long, and I'll leave a link to their video in the description in this one here. So the video's almost 12 minutes long. So the first part is everything I already know, because I've been following this movie very, very closely. And then, as always, they always have like an inside source, and then they go into rumor territory. So they always put the disclaimer out there, and now we're heading in. This is what we heard from some source that they have. This is now a rumor. So this is all pure rumor. So all this could be pure BS. But some of it is interesting anyway. Now, just full disclosure, I am a fan of Midnight's Edge. I do watch their content, and I am subscribed to their channel. And I do realize they are somewhat controversial. So the first rumor they talk about is that there is no behind-the-scenes drama on the set. And so that's a good thing. If it's true, that's good. And the second thing, and if this rumor is true, it's very good as well. There is rumor of no studio interference in this movie, which I've been hearing that's kind of what messed up The Rise of Skywalker. Was the studio started interfering in what J.J. Abrams originally wanted to do with the movie. So it's not quite the way it came out. The end product is not what he had originally intended. But now there was one interesting rumor. This is kind of interesting that they talked about. Is Denis Villeneuve is taking a visual inspiration from the 1984 Dune for the look of his Dune. The same as what he did for Blade Runner 2049, how he based the look of that movie on the original Blade Runner. Now, I don't know how much weight I'm going to give this, because that's not a good comparison, comparing it to what he did with Blade Runner 2049, because Blade Runner 2049 is an actual sequel to the original Blade Runner. So it makes sense to have them visually line up. So what visual elements would he carry over? Now, I don't think anyone can really argue that one of the good things about the original, or about the 1984 Dune, is the visual design of the costumes and the props and stuff. All that looks very good. That's not one of the weak points of that movie. Especially the still suits. So far, now there's only been the miniseries in the 84 film, but so far out of those two, my favorite version of the still suit is the one from David Lynch's film, hands down. I think that as a sci-fi costume, looks really cool. And I've always really liked those still suits. And you can even see when you look at the cover art for the newer books done by Kevin Herbert and Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, when they paint the Fremen on the covers, the look of their still suits are always very heavily inspired from the 84 Dune still suits. So really, if they only just kind of basically carry just that one visual aspect over, I'd be cool with that. Now, obviously, they're not going to do it exactly like the 84 film. There's no way that's going to happen, but if they're going to just kind of use that as a base and go from there, okay, kind of start with this, and then about how can we make it our own thing so it doesn't look like the 84 Dune, or maybe they'll do something completely different. I don't know. So this one, I'm not really sure, because pretty sure he said in some interviews he's doing something totally different from the 84 film. He's distanced in his film as far away from that film as possible. But now, where would this rumor come from? I kind of have a bit of a theory on that. So Oscar Isaac did an interview, and he said that the new Dune film was brutalistic, and I did a video on it, and I thought he was talking about actual physical violence, brutalistic that way, but someone in the comments section mentioned that no, actually the brutalist thing, that's actually a architecture design style, which I didn't know until they left that comment. So I looked it up, and the 84 Dune kind of has that brutalist look on the design of the buildings and stuff. So now, is that where they're getting this rumor? That they're going to have this similar look because of that, maybe? I don't know. But who knows? But this one, I don't know. I'm not really going to put very much stock in this one. So some of the other rumors they talked about is, well, there's one. Now they listed this as rumor, but this isn't rumor. This was actually already talked about. This is kind of like taking the look from the 84 Dune. This is something that was kind of already talked about, or this is where they could have gotten this from, is the role of the Bene Gesserit and Lady Jessica is going to be expanded in this new Dune film. Now, Rebecca Ferguson already came out and talked about her role in the movie, and she said that in an interview that her role as Lady Jessica is going to be expanded from what it was from the book. And this is not a new thing. They actually did this with the miniseries in 2000, but they didn't do it with Lady Jessica. They actually did it with Princess Irulan. They expanded her role quite a bit from what it was in the novel. She was more of an active character in the miniseries, where in the novel, she doesn't really show up until the end, and she's just basically the narrator throughout the book. But now here's one interesting rumor, is that the movie ends with Paul fighting for control of the Fremen. So I'm thinking that's the battle he has with Jameis at that point there where he challenges him, and then Paul ends up crying, and after he kills him, Paul ends up crying, and then everyone's all in awe because they say, oh, he gives water to the dead, so they're all in awe of him, stuff like that. So that is that the point they're talking about? That's the only thing I can think of. So that's an interesting rumor. Who knows if that's true? Like, that's the thing about these rumors. Like, you can never know about if they're true or not. So now there's one other thing they talked about. This has been a rumor, but it's not new. It's been going around for a long time. And that is the gender and race swapped Liet Kynes. So Sharon Duncan Brewster is going to be in the movie, but the rumor is going around that she's going to be playing Liet Kynes, and they've gender swapped the character. Now, this rumor was started back, and I actually left a comment in their comment section of Midnight's Edge, saying, first off, glad you're really doing some coverage of Denis Villeneuve's Dune. I've been covering news about this film over at my channel since May of 2018. However, my channel is really small, and I'm glad to see larger channels talk about this movie. We need to create a good word of mouth for this film. And then I discussed the rumors. This rumor about Liet Kynes being gender and race swap was started back in July by John F. Trent over at the Bounding Into Comics website. And I still don't believe this rumor, because just that's where it originated from, and could have been just for pure clickbait when they started that rumor. So a lot of this stuff that they're talking about, that their inside sources telling them, is stuff that's kind of already out there that you can kind of cobble together. So this is not like any kind of breaking news. And this was now I did a video where I debunked this, because there for a while she was listed as the Shadow Mapes, but then it went back to being blank. And so now I don't know who she's playing. Now, in the video that Midnight's Edge did, they say that, this gender race swap thing is being done for organic reasons. And the reason they give in the video is to facilitate the casting of Zendaya as Chani, because she's African American, which, okay, makes sense for the race bending part, but not the gender bending part. Like to me, it doesn't really make any sense to gender bend a character, and really, in my opinion, the only reason you do it is for political correctness. In my opinion, there's not really any logical, it's not really adding anything to the story. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not doing anything. And there's a few reasons why I think this is false. One, the character of Shadow Mapes, there's no way that character's not in the first part of the movie. There's no way. And, the Emperor, he doesn't show up until the end of the book, so you don't even have to cast him in the first part of the movie. Really, you don't have to do the princess either, because she doesn't, if you're not going to do the narration, she doesn't have to be in the first part of the movie either. She can show up at the end with her father, at the last part of the book. So, but the Shadow Mapes has not been casted, and neither has Fade. So there's a few characters that should show up in the first half that they haven't announced who's playing them. And so Shadow Mapes is not listed, and Liet Kynes. So there's still a very strong chance she's playing the Shadow Mapes. And if they wanted to facilitate the casting of Zendaya, they could just cast either one of these guys here as Liet. Either one of them would be a good choice for Liet Kynes to play her father, because where she's African American. And because there's been very little information about this film that has been leaked out. It's been very, very tight-lipped. And if this is an actual leak, so if this is an actual leak, someone actually leaked this information out, I have a theory on this, because I still don't believe that she's going to be playing Liet Kynes, because Liet Kynes is not any bigger of a role than the Shadow Mapes, in my opinion. So, but the reason why I don't think she's playing Liet Kynes, just because of how Liet Kynes dies in the book. And okay, you're gonna have, and just the way the politics of today is, I've said this before in another video, you're gonna have, because most of the Harkonnen are probably going to be played by white guys. So you're going to have two white guys physically assault a black woman, tear her suit off, and throw her in the desert and leave her to die, and then go on. And then how is that going to go over? That's going to go over like a lead balloon. Like, so that's why I don't think she's playing Liet Kynes. And now she might not be playing Liet Kynes or the Shadow Mapes. There could be some other character that I can't think of right now. Who knows that she could be playing? Like another Bene Gesserit or something like that. And if you're gonna go for the real woke points, you would wouldn't it be more impressive, I guess, to gender bend a character has a more major role, like Gurney Halleck or Duncan Idaho or something like that? So that's why I don't really buy this rumor. And as for the images, there's only been like a couple images. So there's this image here that came out on Twitter. And it's on the set of the new Dune movie, and whatever this thing is in the background, I have no idea. So that was sent out, but no one knows what it is. And then there's this one here. Now this is of Jason Momoa, and it was put out on Twitter, and this is supposed to be him as Duncan Idaho. And but I don't believe that this. I think this is kind of like another red herring, because he's got something in his hand that might be a beard trimmer, because he did that video where he trimmed his beard. So that they just might have quickly threw that together and just something to tease people with, threw it out on the internet. So as for the rumor, I'm still sticking to my guns. I'm still sticking that she is not going to be Liet Kynes. Now they said she's already filmed the role. I know I saw it on Twitter that she finished all her ADR for the movie. And because if she is Liet Kynes, why are they not listing it on the Internet Movie Database? Because they've kept a few actors like under wraps, like the guy who's playing Hawat. They never listed who he was playing for like the longest time. Then finally they came out and it was listed on IMDb that he was playing Hawat. Unless they're using this to throw fans off because they've got someone who is probably quite famous to play Liet Kynes, but they want to use it, leave some surprises for the actual movie. And that's why they probably have that completely under wraps and purposely leak this out to throw people off the scent. That's what my theory is. Now, if they come out and announce it, if everyone's talking about it and everyone already thinks it's true, why not just announce it if she is playing that character? What's the point to keep it a secret now? Unless it's just something you want people to keep talking about. And that's not really the character who she's going to play. Because if someone's got to be playing the Shadow Mapes, someone's got to be playing Liet Kynes. So if she's playing Liet Kynes, why haven't they revealed who's playing the Shadow Mapes? See, so that's my theory. That's my theory why I don't buy it. And why I think this source is probably leaked this out on purpose to throw people off. Could be that. Plans within plans. So, so I'm still going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to call BS on the Liet Kynes race gender swap thing. Most likely race swapped. Yeah, he'll be probably played by a person of color, for sure, because Zendaya is. And but as for the gender part, I think that's not going to be a thing. Now, if it comes out and she is playing it, then I will make a video and I will eat crow. But until that day, I'm just going to stick with my original opinion. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification when new videos are uploaded.